Good morning and welcome to Beginning the Day with God on Friday the 28th of March. Our opening music this morning was Margaret Ritzer's Lord Have Mercy. We continue with our Celtic theme for Lent. Renew and strengthen us, eternal God, as we prepare for resurrection. This morning's reading comes from chapter 12 of the book Revelation. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought back, but they were defeated. And there was no longer any place for them in heaven. The great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven proclaiming, "Now have come the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our comrades has been thrown down, who accuses them day and night before our God. But they have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, for they did not cling to life, even in the face of death. Rejoice then, you heavens, and those who dwell in them. But woe to the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you with great wrath, because he knows that his time is short." Thanks be to God. And now for some thoughts for today. Somewhere in the late 800s to early 900s, a Welsh poem came into being called Praise to God, in which there is a great emphasis on the saving action of God, on his victory, triumph and honour, as well as his largesse. In the poem, Christ is depicted as a conquering hero, and the text consciously imitates the language of the secular heroic tradition. This poem also holds a great deal of Eucharistic language, such as, "Through the cross, blood-stained, came salvation to the world." All of these things root this poem deeply in the message of the cross of Christ and give it high merit to be included in our Lenten journey. The idea that Christ went to the cross and came from it as a conquering hero, akin to the heroes of the great Celtic and Anglo-Saxon sagas, can be seen in the numerous Celtic hymns and poems, the most famous of which, "The Dream of the Rood," will come up in Holy Week. However, this Welsh poem, Praise to God, is another example of it. The poem speaks of the triumph of God's love, who will free us on Judgment Day and lead us to the feast in paradise in the pure release from the burden of sin. As I hope we are beginning to see from the past few days, looking at some of the hymns and poems of the Celtic Christians, the idea of the victory of Christ over evil and sin was very strong in the theology of Celtic Christians. Hero sagas were important to the Celtic and Anglo-Saxon people. They were the way in which great warriors were not only remembered, but honoured. They would sing of great feats and valour, of the struggles the hero went through, and quite often there would be a reason that the hero went through the struggle, often as a sacrificial giving to save someone or some group of people. In this way, the hero was not only held in high esteem by the people, but they would also be held worthy of God or the gods, depending upon whether this was a Christian tale or not. The hero's status was placed upon Christ, and the cross was seen as a battleground with the most ancient of foes, the devil. The title of the poem we have referred to today, Praise to God, states right at the start who has won the victory in this epic battle. Christ is the conquering hero, and we can stand in that victory with him, and we can also bring our praise to God. Amen. And now, perhaps if you have the time today to contemplate this, have you ever considered Christ as a conquering hero? Have you ever come across this concept of the work of the cross? What difference might it make to the way you view not just the work of the cross, but what it means to you in your daily life, and if you understand it this way? And now let us join together in praying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Great and mighty God, thank you for all you have done in the battle against evil. Thank you for the work of the cross and how this means that you have overcome the prince of this world, and that we can live in that victory. Help us to see what this really means for our daily lives. Amen. Renew and strengthen us, eternal God, as we prepare for resurrection. Amen.